Sorry, everybody, my mic was muted. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Reverend Angie Abt, and I want to welcome you to Spiritual Discoveries with Angie and Friends. My friend today, as you see on the screen, is Dr. Reverend Patricia Bell. And Patricia will be on it momentarily. We've had a couple of technical issues, but no surprise there. When we think about Mercury is in retrograde, right? So with Mercury being in retrograde, we can expect a couple of technical issues here and there. And in fact, when Patricia comes on, Patricia is an astrologer, and we are going to talk about Mercury in retrograde. Before we start, and again, as you're coming on and you're hearing us or listening, give a heart, or give a comment and just say hi and let us know where you're from. First thing we have to talk about here is my heart goes out to everybody in the city of Buffalo. I live in the city of Buffalo, for the horrible events of last night. I ask that everybody, lifts their heart in prayer. Connect to your heart in prayer, okay? And send lots of prayers and lots of healing energy. I want to read something here, and when Patricia comes on, she's going to say something too. Hi, I see you guys. Thank you for hopping on, Leslie and SC, Chad and Mary. Thank you so much for coming on. Hi. Okay, so I want to quote somebody. I put a post on Facebook about sending healing and prayers, and I want to quote Stacy Schwab, who wrote a comment on my post, and it encompasses, I think, everything that we're feeling here in Buffalo tonight. Praying for every single soul. Every mother, father, and child whose lives are changed from this moment on by this event. Praying for all the lives lost, praying for all who witnessed this terrible, traumatizing event, praying for our hometown, Buffalo, New York, and all of us who share brotherly love. So I just ask, take a moment and just send prayers. And I'd like to have a moment of silence. And then, just for all those who lost their lives, and for the city of Buffalo, and, again, connect to your heart, send lots of healing and love. But if we could have just a quick moment of silence, in memory of all those who lost their lives in Buffalo last evening. Okay. Thank you, everybody, and keep sending. I mean, I always think that we can all make a difference. There's a lot of power in prayer, and we can all make a difference, if we send healing energy to anybody in our lives or anybody in the world that's going through a difficult time or what have you, or needs to be uplifted. And if we connect to our hearts, and just, I always do it, and I imagine white light coming out from my heart and going wherever it's needed. And we can all do that and absolutely 100% make a difference that way. So I thank you. And we're going to have, again, if you're just coming on, I'm Angie Abt. I'm a registered Lilydale medium. With me soon will be another registered Lilydale medium, my good friend Patricia Bell, who I love. She's an astrologist. We're going to be talking about opening day in Lilydale, because opening day in Lilydale is coming pretty soon. June 25th. If you can come down sometime over the summer. I know, to me, Lilydale is a place of peace and a place of healing. I remember in my life, like back in my early 20s, when I first went to Lilydale, and I kind of went because I heard about it, and I was sort of going through some hard times in my life, and everybody said, go to Lilydale. So I did. And there's something about the sense of peace and the healing energy you feel as soon as you pull into those gates. And this year, is nice. The last 2 years we were open, but things obviously weren't the same with the pandemic. And of course, there's still always precautions, but things are open and things are running again this year. So it's going to be an exciting year. And I think, I do readings is what I do almost every day. And people are looking to heal. People are looking for a place to go where they can connect, and connect to peace inside, and, figure out a way to kind of go forward. And so I would encourage, if you can come to Lilydale, come. But I know a lot of you, and I'm seeing this here. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. You love Lilydale. Me too, Bill Sue. I do too. So, but even if you can't come to Lilydale physically, one good thing that came out of the pandemic is Zoom, right? So, almost every event, even, there are healing services, in the Healing Temple in Lilydale, and they broadcast those live on Facebook. So it's pretty amazing. So you can feel, and I do it too. I teach classes and teach things on Zoom, and I'm pretty amazed, right? When people come together and meditate or what have you on Zoom, that you can feel the energy. I always love like the energy of people meditating together in a room, right? That I love that. And I wasn't sure when I started running meditation classes on Zoom if you'd feel the energy, but you know what? You do. So I'd encourage you to, and connect to Lilydale, any way that you can. And Kim, I can't wait to see you at the stump as well. Yes, everybody. I have a couple of weeks, and I'll post the dates that I actually chair the stump in Lilydale. And if you don't know what the stump is an outdoor message service. It's amazing. First of all, if you haven't been to Lilydale, the stump is located, and the energy is amazing there, and it's located in a virgin woods. Okay, and that means they don't cut trees down there unless it's for safety's sake. And if a tree falls, they leave it or move it, again for safety's sake. But it's there, and when you're sitting in the benches at the stump, okay, it's a religious service, but you look up and it's like you're looking at a cathedral of trees above. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But anyway, back to what we do. Is guest mediums and registered Lilydale mediums come up, and they pick people out of the audience and give messages. So that's amazing. That goes on in Lilydale. We opened June 25th, and that stump service goes on at 1:00 every single day. So it's amazing. And there's also another place that's called the Forest Temple. Okay, the Forest Temple, they have the same type of service, and that's at 4:00 every day. So you have an opportunity to come and watch mediums work and perhaps get a message. And again, it's about being in the energy, because that's amazing. In the history of Lilydale, it's been there a long time. I always think for me, I am pretty lucky because I grew up an hour away from the oldest spiritualist community in the world, and that's Lilydale. It's the oldest spiritualist community. Did you know that? I think that's pretty amazing. So, Christine, I love when you guys write comments. Okay, I grew up in Chautauqua County, New York. Oh, now in Orlando, supporting the sister community in Cassadaga, Florida, praying for Buffalo. Thank you. We appreciate the prayers. Buffalo needs prayers right now. Thank you. Did you guys know this? I never found this out. My parents actually lived in Orlando, Lakeland, Florida, actually for years and years. And I never found out until they weren't living there anymore that there is a Cassadaga Lilydale down in Florida. So if you're in Florida, look it up. I've never been. I've heard it's similar, a little bit different, but similar. But yeah, there is one there too. But yeah, that's great. And good morning from New Mexico, Clarksville, New York. This is awesome. Yep, love Lilydale. We're from Ontario. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming on. So okay, so my guest is here, Dr. Patricia Bell. I'm going to bring her on screen in just a minute. Everybody, here we go. Okay, Patricia, hello. Hello. It's wonderful to have you here.
It's a blessing to be with you. I have to say, Mercury is retrograde, and it has, it seems as though my computer downloaded a whole new system. So I am here with you by my phone. I couldn't get on with the phone because I was still talking to Karen. So once Karen hung up, the phone worked. Amazing,
Oh,
huh?
okay, okay, yeah, I know these things with technology that we've had to learn. I don't know. But also I think technology, I was just telling everybody what an amazing astrologer you are. And talking a little bit about Mercury in retrograde, and that I wasn't surprised we had some technical issues because of it. So welcome everybody. This is my friend. She's a registered Lilydale medium as well, Dr. Reverend Patricia Bell, and I'm super excited to have her here today. We were just talking a little bit, Patricia, about opening day in Lilydale, and I was explaining some of the daily events, and I'm telling everybody that we're going to talk a little bit about opening and Children's Week and the monks coming that haven't been there in, I think, 3 years, or is it 2?
Since 2019. So, but Angie, because we did such an honoring of our beloved friend John White, I would like to remind people that on June 23rd in Lilydale, there will be a memorial service by the family for John at 11 a.m. at the auditorium.
Wonderful.
So, if they missed what we did a year ago, or if they just want to be with the family and have that experience of an in-person memorial, it will be on June 23rd at 11 a.m. at the Lilydale Auditorium.
Wonderful, wonderful. I knew about that, but I'm happy that you're bringing it up, and that's open to the public. Anybody can come to that, right?
Yes, it's in our catalog.
Yeah.
And, it has on the website in Lilydale. So it has been advertised. I mean, the auditorium holds 900 people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that people can obviously find a seat there without a problem.
Yeah, and we'd love to see you, to honor John and to honor his family. And I know so many of you, have reached out since John crossed over to the other side. And I know a lot of you would love to come and honor him. We'd love to see you. So thank you for bringing that up, Patricia. And you know what, we will post that in comments so that you all have that. But it's open to the public service for John. So, Patricia, I wanted to start and ask you a little bit about some of the things that are going on astrologically right now. So,
All right.
Mercury in retrograde, there's an eclipse.
Mercury retrograde takes a back seat compared to the eclipse that is happening. And for us, it will be happening at 12:19 Eastern time. Now, how's the weather in Buffalo?
Beautiful, sunny, beautiful day.
Okay, if there are no clouds out tonight, you will be able to see this full lunar eclipse.
Wow. Wow.
Now, I'm going to break this down a little bit for you.
Yes.
The solar eclipse affects the consciousness of people. The lunar eclipse affects the emotions of people.
Okay.
As we have seen, Buffalo's emotions are sky high due to the shootings that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, these shootings happen like when you have a full moon. It's as though the moon is approaching the sun. So in the approach of the sun, all these things squeeze out and happen. So you'll find that people are emotionally heightened just prior to the full moon, and at the peak of it, it's as though that it's a culmination of those two luminaries coming together. Luminaries, lights in the sky that is showing us what's going on. Now, this happens to be in Scorpio. Now, what does that mean? Scorpio rules the underworld. Scorpio rules death, taxes, all kinds of things.
Mhm.
And yet, what we're seeing is as we look at what we have to release, what we have to let go. I mean, also, come on, Angie, we're celebrating the death of 1 million people who
Yeah.
died of COVID with our flags half-mast.
Yes.
So this is like, oh, very, very intense times for
Yeah.
all the families. Plus, the other aspect of it is all the things that we may have lost. Kids that didn't have their graduations, or people that didn't have their weddings or their celebrations.
Yeah.
And there's some people who feel as though they're losing certain things politically, like with the war in the Ukraine. And it is so, so intense.
Yeah.
And it's like there's these quick and sudden changes. I mean, who would have ever thought that going to Tops would have ended their life?
I know.
I mean, especially when you hear that mother who sent her 18-year-old daughter to pick up something at Tops and she didn't come back.
I know. I know.
I mean, prayers for her.
Prayers. Yeah.
Prayers. I mean, I mean, to me, it's just overwhelming because as a mother, you know, the thought that you'd even put a child in harm's way is somewhat mind-blowing.
I know.
But we all have to look at this. And the reason we're looking at it is because the other end of the spectrum is our value.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's teaching us how we value life. It's teaching us how precious life is.
Yes.
It's teaching us, let's grab everybody we love or care about, text them, hug them, do whatever it is you have to do in order to be able to get to know them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That there be the density of them.
Yeah.
And yes, I still understand that parts of the pandemic are running rapid. You know, there's high numbers here in Florida, and there's numbers going up in Western New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so once again, it's illuminating all these things. Now, please, 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 with the greatest of love and greatest of passion, I ask you, do not go to the dark side.
Right.
I say to you, yes, we're going through all these things. These are the most powerful, transformative aspects that's giving us those aha moments.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I had a fight with a friend. Well, get over it.
Who cares? Yeah, let it go. Let it go. And like you said too, reach out to your loved ones and reach out to people and give them hugs. And hugs don't have to be in-person hugs.
Right,
you send somebody air hugs, or send somebody a text, or call somebody up. You know, I agree with you. I think that's what we learn maybe from these times, is to appreciate the ones that we love. You were right about that. Or the little, you know, pesky arguments, because I hear that too. I'm sure you do in readings, you know, that people do that, and it's like, let it go for sure.
Well, I know we're complaining about gas prices and everything else. And yes, don't get me wrong, I understand they are hardships.
Yes.
And I mean, oh, God bless these mothers who can't get baby formula.
I know.
And we're having to revert to maybe, you know, goat's milk or other things to feed our babies, you know, and that's, you know, I'm not recommending anything in particular, but find what you can from your local physician, that what you can feed your child, you know, because we have to look at, you know, some children are lactose intolerant, etc. But it's like, oh my gosh, it's so intense.
It's intense. Yeah. So, and you know what? You're right. We can't go to the dark side. We need to stay in the light. That's what you were saying, right?
Absolutely. So Scorpio is transformation. How do we transform? Now, let's go to the bigger light. This full moon is Vesak, Wesak. This is the celebration of enlightenment,
Yeah.
of Buddha's birthday,
Yeah.
of his ascension to nirvana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, with all this intensity, we can look at our own enlightenment, our own birth into who we are as real humane beings.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, everybody, I am sure, watching this program is a being of light.
Oh, yes. I'm sure.
Otherwise, you
Yeah.
would not be listening to Angie, because you are of service to this planet. And
Yes.
yes, this can be an upgrade. And yes, you've heard Angie's words and my words. And yes, you can pump up your light to help all those people. Maybe you have extra baby formula, or maybe you even have extra cat food, or
Yeah.
whatever there is that shortage. Maybe
Yeah.
you're the one that brings comfort and love to people who are unable to make the transformation.
Yeah.
And you have this wonderful celebration, not that you have to be Buddhist or Hindu, but you know that this is the time. Now, many Buddhists during an eclipse would fast, because the veils between the two worlds are always open between an eclipse.
Okay.
And so you may have even found in your readings, it's like, wow, spirit's coming in clearer.
Yeah.
Things are even moving in a
I
way
have
that I didn't feel they could move,
very much.
because this eclipse is there. And it's not surprising to me that the doors have opened. But I also want you to look back at the eclipse that happened at the new moon. And that eclipse at the new moon, believe it or not, had Uranus, which was a quick and sudden change that was going to affect it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Uranus was an orb of the natal moon of Buffalo.
Ah.
And
Okay.
so here we are at the full moon, seeing what some of that could bring.
Yeah. Just real quick, Patricia, I was thinking this when we're talking about staying in the light, and I had Tom Kratzley on, a friend of ours, a couple weeks ago, and we talked about, like, to make change, we have to stay in the light and stay in that higher level, and that's what you're saying too, and I think you're right. It's if you have cat food or you have formula, or I think it's about being there for each other too, right? And smiling at people. And you talked about this right when you came on, about being there for our loved ones, just making sure. I think one of the things that I love about Lilydale is I feel like it's a place that I can walk through the streets and I can smile at people and they smile back. Or I say hi to people in the streets and they say hello back. And I think in our world, we don't do that all the time. Like, I think that needs to happen everywhere. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree. And the reason, remember, the common denominator in Lilydale is healing.
Yes.
And that healing, whether it's in the mediumship or at the healing temple.
Yeah.
And we all know that people who are visiting Lilydale are looking for healing, or they're looking for enlightenment. And that's the common denominator. Then, and on top of that, it's a vortex of healing, as you spoke about it being an old growth forest.
Mm-hmm.
If you will take just a walk in that old growth forest, the neurodendrites of those trees, like in Japan about, forest bathing, it can be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exciting. I know you mentioned the children's program and the monks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, you want to know happy times. You want to know upliftments. hang out with the monks.
Yeah.
I mean, when they come there, the frequency, and that's what we're really addressing, is
Mhm.
that as light workers, our frequency has to be up there.
Yes.
And they've done electronic tests on the monks to find that their brain waves are in gamma.
Wow.
And so, as light workers with our own personal meditation, once we can say that we're in gamma, I know
Mhm.
myself, that's something that I strive to,
Yeah.
is to know that, and that gamma to me is knowing that I am connected.
Yes. Yes.
And one of the
Yeah.
things that I say when from our dear friend John White, is
Love
I
him.
constantly remind myself, God is passionately in love with you.
Oh, yes. Well, I got chills when you said that. Yes. So true. So true. I loved the things that John said.
He taught us a lot about living and about dying.
Mhm.
And I would even recommend people go back and watch the year ago where you and I were together speaking about him, because in that video that you put up was so loving of him.
Mhm.
And I think that it's very powerful. In fact, I have recommended to people who couldn't be there, who never even met John, to watch the video
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
were going through, because he spoke so joyfully
He did.
what
It
it
was
was like to
amazing.
cross over.
No. I know. And Patricia, he did that talk at a Santosha worship service. And I knew I loved the talk, but I didn't remember that he talked about that. But you're right, he talked about what it was like to cross over. I mean, he brought healing, without even knowing that he was going to cross over. He brought so much healing for us to listen to it after. I should replay that.
I really think you should. And John's yoga name was He Who Is Bliss in Meditation.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So he brought us that idea of bliss, or the gamma, or, and
Yeah.
his frequency was very high. And so when people say to me, well, what can I do about John passing? I say, be like John,
Yeah.
be kind, be gentle,
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that smile. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what you're saying, Angie,
Mhm.
because you know what? These are the reminders of this full moon.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
What is it? Um, and then somebody else said to me, uh, Emmy Chetkin was telling me that her daughter Teresa said, John didn't pass away, he ascended.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you know what? With that kind of frequency, yes.
Probably did. It's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so, hey, I would rather ascend,
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
thinking of that frequency.
Me too.
But, and the reason I guess this is so pertinent is because I know Buffalo is a city of the heart. Oh my gosh. Buffalo has so many loving, loving people. And don't get me wrong, Ohio, Pittsburgh, all of you have loving people too. But it's, you can't get people from Buffalo to move away from Buffalo.
Mhm.
They
No,
just,
I'm here.
right?
You're here. Yeah. I can't imagine going anywhere else. And even my family members who have moved away due to work can't wait to come back.
And they always come back during
Yeah.
holidays and this and that and everything else, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They can't wait. Yeah. No, I agree. It is of the heart. And you're talking about John and how, like, he perfect, that he was so high up in his energy and really did walk in the light. He lived his life that way, you know. And I think, like, if anybody listening is thinking, how do I walk in the light? I can't be like John, but you can, you can. And it's about doing the right thing and being kind and being gentle and being there for people. And if you do that, then you're living your life like John, and you're living your life in the light.
And you're being here with you, Angie. You're going to Lilydale. You're doing the meditations uh, because this is a process of evolvement.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know, we have a map. He gave us a map.
yeah.
I know John meditated, oh my gosh, so much. He did
Mhm,
his yoga. So
mhm.
it's like we have a map, we have a way. And I personally, um, I meditate at least 2 hours a day.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Wow. I
Because
still
I know the world inside of me has to be in alignment so that I can walk with love in the world outside of me.
Yes, and you feel so much better, right? I'm not at 2 hours. I'm at about an hour, but I should do the 2 hours, because I know it makes such a difference, and it makes it that every day you're living your life more and more and more in the light. And I always say this to people. A lot of people, and you probably hear this, Patricia, too, that they say I can't meditate. I can't shut down my thoughts, things like that. Meditate anyway, and you'll see that little by little you will be able to shut your thoughts down more. And even if you don't, you just kind of let them sail in and sail out, thank them for being there, and go back to the silence, and you'll notice it makes a huge difference in your life, right?
Absolutely. Or be like Thich Nhat Hanh, walk in the woods.
Yes. Yeah.
He used to do walking meditations with eyes open.
Yeah.
But the idea was that you were consciously aware.
Yeah.
And, John always reminded me a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh,
Yeah.
because they got to be very present
Yeah.
and they loved their spirituality.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I want everybody to be passionately in love with your spiritual self.
Yes, you have to be, and you all have it, right? We all have it. It isn't just,
Everybody has it.
yeah, yeah.
But, these are the times that the knock is so loud on the door
Mhm.
that we have to remember that this is what we need to do and this is how we need to do it.
Yeah.
And all the loving people that are on this call with us,
Mhm.
I am so proud of what you do.
Mhm.
Whether you take a deep breath and count to 4, whether you meditate, whether you walk in the woods, bravo, brava.
Hello.
You have made a choice,
Mhm.
which makes you turn up that pilot light in your soul so
Yeah,
that you can bring all that goodness into this world.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I really think we need to um, honor that in one another too. And
Mhm.
I honor that in you, Angie, and for being here on these Sundays, bringing forward people who give discussions to uplift
Yeah,
the
that's
frequency.
yeah. Thank you, and I honor you as well, because you do a lot of the same things, and I think you're right. It's like, yeah, uplift, and that's what we try to do. And everybody that's on, you're on because that on listening to us, which we appreciate very much, because you can do the same thing. You can uplift as well. Same thing. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And there are how many wonderful people are there? I mean, when I was in I went to Tim Hortons in Lilydale the other day, and someone already paid for my coffee. You know, hello.
I
You
know.
just know, oh my gosh, that was a good person, or they didn't have to do that, or, it's
I
just,
know. You know what? I've had that happen too, and the couple times it's happened to me at Tim Hortons, I was not having a good day. I was rushing through whatever, and somebody bought my coffee, and it made me smile. I don't even know who the person was, and
right.
it changed my entire day, just that little thing. And that's what we can do. Little things, right? I mean, even buy somebody's coffee. I've done it. I've returned it and done that at Tim Hortons too. Hold the door for somebody if you see somebody with their groceries, or, just walk by, pay attention, be mindful. We can make a difference with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And know how much that each and every one of us are loved from God's spirit, God is all there is, that
Very much.
we are here because we are part of all there is.
Yeah.
And even if we don't think we're making a difference, we're making a difference.
Yeah, just a smile makes a difference. I don't know about you, but I know sometimes, I'm out for a walk and I walk by somebody and they look at me and they just smile, and I feel the warmth and I feel good, and they make a difference. We all need that, and we can all give it. It's not, I mean, the big things are great too, but a lot of times it's the little things that add up and make a huge difference. We can all do that.
And when you're talking about smiles, the children's program in Lilydale,
Yes.
oh my gosh, they
Yeah.
are the master teachers.
Yeah.
They come into Lilydale for that Children's Week, and they open up and they start talking. I mean, this is the 18 years of doing this, Angie. 18 years. And from this program, we have a medical doctor, we have a lawyer, we have an architect, we've got a sound healer, we got a yoga instructor, we've got all these kids that came out of the program. All know that they're creative inside, can develop them.
Yeah.
And what's really great is that, yes, no child, they come in, and please bring their parents, because by them being so able to communicate through their innocence, it brings us back to our innocence and how we were directly connected.
Yeah.
And so the parents or grandparents or aunts or uncles who bring them, they are able to get and enjoy. This year, we're not doing it on Zoom because I'm going to have a tent outside to do all the classes.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. So not on Zoom, it's in person, which honestly, I think everybody's looking for in person right now anyway.
Right, but it's going to be outside.
Okay, right, which you can't do on Zoom. True.
And I know that being outside is a whole different feeling. So we'll have just so many chairs. And I've asked people to bring their towels and their blankets or whatever. But we're going to put up a tent behind the Lyceum. We'll check in and then we'll go outside. And we have, of course, at the Healing Temple, you're going to have to go to the Healing Temple. It'll be at 10 o'clock. And when these little people do their healing, the purity, because they're not distracted. The purity of them. I had one nun, she was seated at a healing bench, and this 8-year-old came by and healed her. Wow. And she just cried.
Yeah. Wow.
Because of the purity she felt from
it's amazing.
Spirit's love.
It's amazing. Do you know, back when my granddaughter was about 4 or 5, and she used to come to my house every morning because I had to take her to kindergarten. My daughter would drop her off, before she went to work. And I'd been diagnosed with arthritis. And so my hands would hurt me. And my granddaughter would say, "Oh, Grandma, I want 5 ponytails in my hair today," because I had to do her hair. But I know your hands bother you. Give me your hands. I'll heal them first, okay? And then you can give me my 5 ponytails. And I'd say, okay, and she would, and my hands would be fine then, and she got her ponytails. So it worked. But let me ask you, I think we are all born with the connection to our intuition. And I think that as children, right, we're very close to it. And then as adults, sometimes, like, I felt like I moved away from it when I went to school, and connected more to my logical side, all of that. So, I mean, children we're all naturally intuitive, and children, like you said, there's a freedom with it because it's just right there for them.
Well, Angie, what you're describing is how the world gets in the way.
Yes.
But when the kids and the parents come to Lilydale, they feel the experiential inside them.
Mm-hmm.
And the children are validated, and the parents are validated. Plus, they find other children like them.
Mm-hmm.
How wonderful was it for you and me? I mean, it was John that brought me to Lilydale, but
Okay.
it was the validation from other people that were mediums and healers.
Yeah.
And so here these children meet other children that validate who they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they know that there's a group, a tribe that understands what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's that experience of the heart. And yes, Lilydale gives the opportunity to be able to be in nature. They get to walk in an old growth forest. They get to be a part of that experience. And yes, they get to learn other things. It's so funny because I know my grandson was my motivation for even doing this program. And when he was 5 years old, he said to me, Grandma, I want you to put your hand on my heart, and I'm going to put my hand on your head, and your forehead. And I said, okay, Bailey. And he said, people are going to call this healing.
Wow.
But it's actually love.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm getting goosebumps from that. Wow. That's beautiful.
And I said to him, Bailey, where did you learn that? He goes, it's okay. I read it in a book before I got into my mommy's tummy.
Wow. Wow. More chills. I have goosebumps. That's amazing. And so was he part of the first children's program? I was going to ask you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, he even taught a yoga class in it.
Did he?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And he's a spiritualist minister as well with City of Light.
Okay. That's awesome.
But that was his choice. And, it's so exciting. And in fact, out of all the kids in the program, he and one more is going to become a minister.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but of course, now he's 27.
Yeah.
And he's very much busy in the outside world.
Yes. Yeah.
But
he still comes to Lilydale with you, right?
And he knows that he can meditate.
Yes. Because he learned it when he was younger, right? And meditation can help with so much. I think kids that go to school and they worry about tests or they worry about friends or what have you, meditation is the answer to so much.
It is. And biologically, Angie, when we slow down the brain, all right, when we are studying, that all goes into hypothalamus in the back of the brain. So when we are calm and meditate, we can access the back of the brain better. This is why people who are going in for tests need to be able to use the breathing exercise so that they can still the mind to access everything they learn.
Okay, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's true. So, you know what, I want to just say real quick, because I see we have Karen in the background. Everybody, thank you, Karen, because Karen's putting things in comments so that you all have the link for Lilydale Assembly and Children's Week. And Lilydale's Children's Week this year is in person, and it starts Sunday, July 10th to Saturday, July 16th. And Patricia, that's open to all children, right? Is there a certain age or any?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. And do children come, like, do the parents, are parents part of it too? Or is it just,
Absolutely.
okay. Okay.
They are
Great.
so welcomed because they need to be able to understand what their child is healing and feeling. And it's just like your little granddaughter healing your hands.
Mhm.
They know. They may stop mommy, daddy, aunt, grandma and lay hands on them. And this way you know what they're doing. Or if they give you a message.
Yeah, because don't children give messages? Well, my granddaughter knew about healing because she heard me talking about it. And I think I was always doing healing on her. And then one day she said, Grandma, you need healing. Give me your hands. And it was amazing, you know, how well it worked. But I wanted to ask you that too. So children come in. So in the children's program, they meditate every day?
They get to be a part of the class.
Okay.
And you know, most kids, their meditation, they're already in an alpha state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for them to access.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're in kind of, it's when we move into a beta state that kids are sort of pretty much blissed out. And if
Yeah.
we can let them roll like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we have got, oh my gosh, we got such beautiful classes for the children and for teens. We have special Gerard Collins is coming to teach creative writing
Wow.
with healing. And the adults, if they want the adult class with Gerard, he's teaching creative writing through fear.
Wow.
A
Excellent.
brilliant class. What
Excellent.
can I tell you? And yes, Dr. Janice Dresman is going to be there with the teens as well as the children. She's bringing Sir Tibbet Wicks.
Yeah, I love Sir Tibbet Wicks. Yes.
Yes, the beautiful puppy.
Yes.
And then we've got
Now,
Diane,
isn't she's going to
Diane Shenandoah, who's coming from the Oneida tribe, that's going to be teaching Indian things with Grandmother Spider. And it's such an exciting program. And Bob Kiss and
yeah.
a connection with pets with Joanne Copley Nigro. I mean,
I actually have the list right here, but yeah, you're saying them all. So, but they get to, like, I see here, sound healing with Tom Kratzley, and
that's more like Tom's going to give them sounds to make.
Oh,
like, you know how Tom tones like, whoa.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Where the sound healing with Jake Kennedy is he's going to use the crystal bowls.
Oh, nice.
Now,
nice.
Jake happens to be gone to the only sound healing university, is a graduate and is certified sound healer, and one of our own youth that came through the program.
Oh, wow.
And him
Whoop. Oh.
Him.
Oh, are you back? Oh, we have Patricia. It's Mercury is in retrograde, so we have to expect a couple glitches.
Exactly. And so him and Autumn are teaching a yoga class, and Autumn happens to be the granddaughter of Peggy Rogers, a medium at Lilydale.
Oh, nice. Isn't that beautiful? So,
I mean, it's just so exciting.
It is. So children that came to the program 18 years ago when it started are now back in their teaching. That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
And just as a sidebar, I will be teaching a class on skulls. I'm bringing my golden healer skulls on the 16th, and it's at 9:00 in the morning in Lilydale.
Is that Children's Week, or is that
it's
different?
at the very end of Children's Week?
Okay.
Oh, so everybody bring your crystals and join us, because it's going to be an incredible class. Russell
Is that
Brown
for
is going to
anybody?
play.
Anybody? Is that something anybody can sign up for?
Yes, that's
Okay,
basically
so all right,
it's
that's
more like
yeah,
an adult class, though.
yeah.
But
Hear that, everybody? So Patricia's teaching a class for everybody. It's at the end of Children's Week, but anybody can come to it. That's important. Yeah.
right,
Awesome.
and we're going to have a harpist. We're going to have sound healing. We're going to have Jake's going to be there to do a sound healing for the adults. That's why I mentioned it.
Oh,
So he's doing it for the kids, but in this Golden Skull healing class, it's going to be done for adults.
yeah.
And
So
we're going to have Bob Kiss playing the flute. It's going to be so
I
much
love when he plays
fun.
the flute. I love it. It's gonna be so much fun. Everybody, you want to bring your children down and come to it yourself too. Patricia's encourages parents to come too. Sunday, July 10th through Saturday, July 16th. Patricia, do you have to sign up for the whole week, or can people come for
No. For the children's, it's class by class.
Okay.
You
Oh,
see,
okay.
but
Good.
for my class, you have to sign up through Lilydale.
Okay.
All right, on the 16th. But the reason that it's done class by class, Angie, is let's say a kid wants to nap instead of going to a class.
Yeah, they can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to go to all the classes, and the class is a $10 donation.
Okay, so it's
And
very affordable. Very affordable.
And talk to me if you got. We work with parents all the time, and it's an amazing, amazing, amazing time.
It is. So the link, everybody, is in comments. Thank you, Karen. Karen put the link in. So you can click on that link, find out more information about Children's Week, and sign your children up for it.
You just show up for it.
You don't even have to sign up.
You just show up.
Even better, even better. And actually, Karen, also, thank you, Karen. Karen put up Patricia's class, Golden Healer Crystal. Okay, there's a link for that as well. So if you're interested in that, I would absolutely check it out. Patricia's an excellent teacher, and this sounds like an awesome class. So check that out too. And that one, probably we take there's always walk-ins, but it's better to register ahead, right?
Absolutely. You know how classes go in Lilydale. And because we have to know how many are coming, basically, so that we can make sure the room size is good.
That's right. Yeah. So definitely I would, recommend definitely. And Patricia's classes fill fast. So I would get on and register for it as soon as you can. So opening day in Lilydale is June 25th, right?
June 24th. Friday, June 24th.
Okay. And then that's the butterfly release?
Yes.
Okay. And are the monks there that day? Talk about the monks quick too. When I got registered in Lilydale, that was the first year the monks didn't come. So I haven't gotten to be part of that
yet. The monks are coming to do the Medicine Buddha San Mandela.
Okay.
And they will be there Friday night at the auditorium, where we're going to have a celebration tea. And of course, we are being honored as a historic district.
Yes.
And we're going to celebrate that along with the monks are going to give a brief prayer. And then the next morning, they're going to open up. We have very strong restrictions with the monks because of COVID. So everybody has to wear their mask and keep their distance, because if one monk gets sick, we lose the entire group. Yeah. And they're in such close quarters in the van as they're driving around. It's an interesting aspect, but it's the Medicine Buddha. And we had to limit the number of people that can go, because we had to create enough space. And this was because of the monastery. This wasn't because of Lilydale. They gave us these prerequisites in order for them to come.
Well, it makes sense, and we want them to be safe, and it's worth it, everybody, for sure. So I saw that. So if you go on Lilydale's website, lilydaleassembly.org. Okay. And I think that's in the comments too. You can sign up to come and see the monks as well. So,
And
yeah,
get your tickets as soon as possible, because
yeah.
it is, for the first time, the numbers are limited.
Okay. And for sure that's going to fill up because everybody loves to see the monks.
And they
So,
haven't been in there for such a long time.
I know, it's so nice to have them back. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So opening day in Lilydale, Karen's got that posted June 24th. And we go out until Labor Day. Come to Lilydale. Come during season. You will love it. I mean, there are things to do all day. There are classes. You can go get a healing in the healing temple. There's a 1:00 stump service. I was talking about that earlier. That's a message service. There's a 2:30 auditorium service where somebody gives an inspirational spiritual talk, and then there's a medium that gives messages. There's 4:00 Forest Temple, and meditation in the healing temple too at 8:00, right? Well, I got to look
on certain days.
Okay, certain days. Okay.
But I do want to tell you, we're going to have a UFO weekend.
Okay. Oh, exciting.
With it's going, and we're going to have Damian Brinkley, who wrote the book Saved by the Light.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be, isn't that a great book?
Yes, I love that book.
And it's extraordinary. We're going to have a lovely season. There's going to be so many events. It's going to, a lot of great things.
And come on, because every week, Karen and I are going to Karen's going to come on some weeks too, and we're going to feature something that's going on in Lilydale. Okay, so you're going to get to see, and we're even going to do a live from Lilydale. We're going to drive around. We have to get a hold of a golf cart and we're going to drive around and show you Lilydale. Okay. I want you to get to see the trees out at the stump and get to see the beautiful water and get to see the people. So I'll let you know what date that's going to be. So thank you so much, Patricia. I loved talking to you. You brought so much healing, as you always do. It was perfect, that you came on, the day after everything that went on in Buffalo yesterday. People needed your words. I appreciate that. Children's Week, definitely take a look at Children's Week. You want to bring your children down for that. It's amazing,
And the child inside of you.
Yeah, the child inside of you. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna come. I want to come to it too.
Good. Who knows? Yeah. I may rope you into teaching next year.
I will do it. I'm already giving a yes. I'm there. I would love to work with children. Yeah. So, and everybody, thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday to spend with us. We appreciate it so much. Karen, thank you so much for being in the background. And I mean, our banners looked really good today. All our stuff. We appreciate that. And thanks, Patricia. I look forward. I hope you'll come back on soon.
Okay. Bye for now. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, my friend.
Okay. Bye-bye.